What's up, guys? It's your boy XC1 back at it again with another banger of video. So what is Dislyte's SwiftSpace? SwiftSpace is a story Twitter-esque type interface here where you get to interact with espers, and it adds a layer of depth if you like the story or talking to the espers. It makes them more three-dimensional instead of two-dimensional like art wise. It gives them another layer to their personality if you like that stuff. But this video is about the rewards and not so much the lore or story aspect of the addition to the game. So let's jump into the rewards. As you can see here, I'm in the Atlas and Esper gallery here, and you can see here that on some of the espers they have the path of experience. It looks like a dartboard symbol with the percentage completion on the path of experiences. Now once you get this dartboard path of experience completed, you do get to unlock the medals, and let's show you that. So let's go ahead and use Young Chuan for an example. As you can see here, I'm 100% completed with the path of experience, and I have 6 out of 7 possible medals completed. This information I'm telling you about path of experience is more so blanketed across the whole thing, give or take some missions. So I'm just showing Young Chuan as an example again. As you can see here, when I was in the Esper Gallery Atlas, it had the path of experience. It looks like a bullseye symbol here, and it had 100%. And once you complete this quest line tracker here, then you get to unlock the medals in this tab here itself. Let's show you some of the path of experience stuff real quick. Now, once you first go into path of experience, let's say for an example on an Esper that you haven't completed, unlike me, I have completed this 100%. You can check the rewards here in the bottom right, and they do differ a little bit, maybe per Esper, but they give or take are about the same. You get a bunch of Abilamon fragments and gold records, and you get elemental records depending on that Esper's element. And you get a cool little dynamic avatar. They're pretty cool. You got a couple from the Esper Vote events, but now you get to acquire them at your own discretion as long as you get to complete this. You do not need Resonance 2 to complete the dynamic avatar frames, at least for Raven. I don't know, I saw on the update day that people were like, you need Resonance 2 for Raven, which is pretty far-fetched for a vast majority of the player base, but no, you don't need R2 Raven to get the dynamic frame. These missions are pretty simple. Everybody can complete these lower bottom halves of the missions. For all the espers, I feel like I could say that confidently. Clear Sonic Rift, difficulty 10 or higher. Reach Ascension Phase 6, those are pretty easy. So as long as you do that, you get a free elemental record. And then over here you get another elemental record for just upgrading the +9 equipment. These things are pretty easy too. The combat assessments are pretty easy. You don't even need to use all Wind Espers. So like if you have Brewster R6 or Tever or something, you can just use the 3 Wind Espers and then use Brewster R6 or Tever. Anybody else that you have that's a big nuker if your Young Chuan isn't the best built. I wanted to make a point about this equipment growth assessment here. Some people were confused, and even I was confused at the start. Post update a couple hours, I was like, wow, that's crazy. And then I reread it, and somebody pointed it out to me. You do need crit rate to equal 100%, but this crit damage percentage here is not plus 280% from equipment itself. It's just 280% total. So let's show you how to get that, yeah? I'm just going to do auto-equip here, but as you can see, I auto-equipped, and the C damage at base, at least for this Esper, I'm sure he probably maybe has an Ascension that upgrades it a little bit, but 150% C damage at base, plus 170 from equipment, that equals more than 280%. That's like 40 or something higher than 280%. So all you have to do is get this percentage to plus 140, sorry, plus 130, and then that would equal 280% C damage. So it's not that hard. It is pretty hard for maybe early to mid game players, but if you're doing this, you should be able to achieve it. You can equip any combination. You don't have to have a complete 4 and 2 set. You can, for example, have a Panacea. Like, let's say you have an Ahmed DPS build, and Panacea has C damage on it, right? You go to, let's see here, Panacea, sort that by C damage. Yeah, let's say you have a Panacea C damage here, and that still cuts it. That's 300. You could do Panacea, you could do Thor, you could do a bunch of different combinations here, as long as the final Esper stat reaches higher than what it is specified. which is pretty cool. Now, let's go to Emblem of Expertise after I just showed you Path of Experience. So, just like Path of Experience, Emblem of Expertise will vary in missions. The first one is pretty blanketed across all of them. It is a power, in the top right of your Esper stats it says the power level, like 20,000, 30,000. It's a power level check. And then these ones will, give or take, be more correlated to what these Espers are used in and used for. So, for example, Young Chuan and Fafnir is pretty standard. And then here's Fafnir again, but these are harder. So the top ones are the easiest, the middle ones are the medium difficulty, and the last ones are the hardest or most tedious to obtain. Like, for example, in a couple rare or epic Espers, it's Clear Temporal Tower with 4 Espers. Obviously, Temporal Tower is 1 time a month clear, so if there's you already cleared it, you have to wait. So it's a little bit more tedious to obtain, but they're not going anywhere. The rewards are there. They're not going anywhere. But I was tiptoeing showing this strength verification emblem for Young Chuan because I would like to think that my Young Chuan is pretty well built for give or take mid to late game. It's not the best. It could be way better. But I'm 80% sure there is no way to obtain the last power emblem verification expertise without having R6 of that Esper and Divinate 6 of that Esper and all abilities maxed. At the moment, I'm only R4 and I have all the abilities maxed besides for 1, and my build's pretty decent. Now let's go ahead and check the Emblem of Expertise. Strength verification emblem thresholds. I wish I didn't open to that first, but best power record reaches 25k. Okay, yeah. These rewards are pretty good, by the way. They go for epic and rare Espers, which are attainable without divinates, by the way. So these, you get a bunch of Nexus crystals. It's only 15 Espers this go, but hopefully they add more each patch. Anyways, best power record reaches 30,000, is 100 Nexus crystals. So you're getting 150 Nexus crystals for free here. And then the last one is best power record reaches 40,000. And yeah, let me show you how unattainable that is, just to put it a little bit more in perspective. Obviously, the good news here is that it's just an elemental record and not Nexus crystals or gold record, because that would be way more irritating. Not gonna lie, can't really complain about the reward, but complaining to get there is what I'm about to do and show you. 1 second. I'm also going to show you a visual aid that somebody put together. I think it was one of the moderators in the official Discord server. If not, I will correct that information in the description. Sorry, but to get back on to track here, the 40k. Here, I have Lewis R6. All the abilities are upgraded here. The build's not the best, but it's not the worst, and they are more focused on the quality of the relics than the substats, but both do take into account to the power level here. But as you can see, I'll go to Emblem of Expertise, and 25k, 30k, it's such a big jump. 25k is nothing. 30k is something. 40k, it goes 25, 30, 40k. That's a big jump, and, you know, I just deducted, me and a bunch of other people deducted on the day that the update happened, that you can't obtain these for legendaries unless you have Divinate 6, R6, and all the abilities maxed. So hopefully, if that is not the case, somebody can comment and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that is the case. But it's not a big deal because, like I said, the last reward for this big jump, unattainable for most players, might I say, is just an elemental record. So if it was gold or Nexus crystal, I would be a little bit more upset, but elemental records are kind of mid, so it is what it is. Just gonna point that out. If you guys have legendaries with R6s and all Billimon and you're like, what the hell, I can't obtain this, that's the reason why. Get your divinates up. If you do me one last favor before this video ends, it's going on for long as is, you look at your screen here and you can see this chart. Feel free to screenshot it, and I will post a link to it in the description, hopefully, if I could figure that out. So you can see here on the left is Esper name. The requirement Esper is on the right. So they have combat trials, Asanoff and Laura. Asanoff is the one that you're doing the Path of Experience for, and Laura's the required Esper that needs to be used for that combat trial. So there is 2 Esper requirements to complete some of them. So that's how you read it, and it goes Barden and Hall are required, and so on and so forth. Anyways, if you would look in the further right column, Rift 10, which means Sonic Rift 10, Hangyu and Emma is Infernus 8, which is Sonic Miracle Infernus boss. Windstriker 8 below that, which is another Sonic Miracle boss. And then you can see Rift 10, Rift 10, Rift 10, which is all Sonic Rift 10. Pro tip here, you can use more than one Esper to obtain the mission at a time. So let's say, for example, I put Young Chuan, Tai, Tangjuan, Raven, and Asinoff in one Sonic Rift team, and do one Sonic Rift mission, difficulty 10 or higher. It counts for all of them, and that goes the same for all the other missions. So if you want to save your stamina and get them knocked out together, then yeah, you do that, and it's a pretty good tip, because that's what I did too, to reduce the stress. And it's pretty easy for mid to late game players. You don't have to juggle equipment, because you can just like run through the boss with one or two equipped Espers. So anyways, at the furthest 2 columns, it says Cube 6 and Cube 7. I want to stress this out, guys, that you have to use these Espers in the cube to complete just one floor. So you don't have to use them all on one team if you don't have them built correctly. You can use one on one team, beat a floor with them, and then change that one Esper out, beat another floor with them. So you do the raid feature, and you have like 6 or 7 floors to complete after you use the raid feature. You can use one Esper per each of the floor, or you could just put them all in the same team and complete one floor that way. But you can just remember to do the cube with those Espers. I had the issue. I locked myself out of rewards for 4 days because I just did cube with my cube team, which didn't have any of the Espers on there, and I was like, why didn't the mission complete? It's because you have to use those Espers. I know that's pretty obvious for some people, but I messed it up, so I just figured it would be good to point that out there. Anyways, this video is long as fuck. Sorry for it being rambly. I don't really make scripts, but anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. It sheds just a little bit more insight previously than my other video. I do have a shorter video that's like 5 or 6 minutes that you can watch instead of this one. This one's a little bit more in-depth, and it has a visual guide on the screen right now for the last 3 minutes. Feel free to screenshot again. Anyways, guys, please leave a like and subscribe if you like that. Peace out.